Our first guest is Gary. Some people know him as Self-Help Gary. Self-Help Gary is here tonight on Denver Smith Show. Gary from Portland. He's an old friend of mine, and he's a radio personality in Portland, Oregon. That's where Portland is, right? There's one in Maine too, but this is the one in Oregon. Welcome aboard. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Hit that smash button. What are you doing, Gary? Like, you're in Portland still, right?
I still live in Portland, yeah.
What's it going? I keep seeing pictures of Portland where it's just like a foggy woods or something. Is that what it's like all the time there?
No, it's funny. People have a very weird attitude about Portland about that. I know people who've lived here and they move here in the fall and they say it's very gloomy, but we have a period from probably around middle of June to maybe middle of September where it's just
Talk about my show, Gary. Come on.
Of course, yes.
So this is my new show I'm starting on YouTube. It's called Denver Smith Show, and you're my first guest. So welcome to
Thank you.
my show.
Sorry you couldn't get a better first guest.
Maybe you have a stock photo of yourself that I could use to maybe just, it'll say like on the phone, Gary.
Okay, do I have to do it now?
No, you don't have to do it now. Because we can fix it all in post.
So Denver, how long have we known each other?
I was thinking about that. I would say I think we maybe kind of knew each other about 30 years ago. Like barely, I think in passing, because you were at KVRX when it was, I think it was already KVRX by that time, but you were there since it was KTSB, correct?
Just for the summer of '94. So it changed, I think, to KVRX that summer. I took classes, which officially made me a student, which meant I could DJ at KVRX.
Yeah, I just did it like I was a total riffraff, just crashing it.
They didn't have rules back then.
But you were a legit student. I wasn't. But I didn't grow up in Austin per se. And then my dad had a house there for a while, and that he inherited. It was close to Willie Nelson's house.
I left in 2009, and the last time I was there in 2017, which is 8 years later, and it was utterly unrecognizable.
Yeah, I haven't been there in maybe 6 years or so. And last time I was there, there was already a bunch of new stuff downtown, but I see like the news from there and stuff, and whenever they show downtown, it's like unrecognizable. There was a funny meme I saw about it the other day where it's Joe Pesci.
What the is this piece of
Not as funny as those cat videos where they're driving.
And it's very hard for people to notice now, but Austin used to be a sleepy little town.
I know. I saw a headline that said Austin was like the most overworked population in the country or something. It was in the top few. And like when I lived there in the 90s, it was the opposite of that.
Yeah.
In a good way. Like it was just coming from Houston, it was a smaller town and it was more laid back and more fun and more artsy fartsy and less business oriented. So that's why I moved to LA, and now because I wanted to get away from business. Like I knew you through music, right? So
yeah, the way we met, I remember it being when I was at Co-op. And you're very flattering. You liked my show, and you always did sweet stuff. Like you asked me to DJ a party for you.
Yeah, my birthday party one year.
It was really fun. And then you also did an Access Cable show, and I was a guest on that too. I'd be very. I haven't seen that. That must have been what, around 2004. In my beard.
Gray in your beard. It just came in.
No. We must have done that 18 years ago. So
yeah, it was like early 2000s, like 2003, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And thank you for being on there that time, and thank you for being on here now. And like I said, it's I'm trying to gradually make it a real show that has like real production values, but this is our first episode and I wanted to hurry up and get something done, so I just made it like a Zoom episode. And
I'm glad to be part of the Unreal show rather than the real show.
Well, no, it is real. This is all part of the canon.
Oh, are we gonna have to talk about Israel then?
I would want to hear like what Dennis Miller had to say or something.
Someone who's
Can this whole show just be talking about Joe Rogan?
I don't want to talk. I'm not talking about him. I've actually, I confess,
would.
I've
I-
never heard his show, but I also have to say I've never been interested in listening to his show. Even if someone I really loved was on his
Meatheads need to be represented, you know?
who needs to be represented?
Meatheads.
So we're gonna talk smack about Rob Reiner now. That's so
No, I like
mean.
no, he's the cool meathead. But I mean meathead in the original meaning.
But anyway, but I was watching with my sister, and Mike Stivic, Rob Reiner's character, has this one great line. It's a classic line, and he says, "It's times like this I thank God I'm an atheist." And I remember being very young and turning to my sister, and my sister was laughing. Everybody was laughing. I was like, "Why is that funny?" I didn't know what an atheist was. So whenever I think of Rob Reiner, I think of my sister explaining to me, probably poorly, what an atheist was.
Was the sad place called Sandy's was it Sandy's Jug? Have you heard of Sandy's Jug?
No, I don't know the reference.
Or Sandy Jugs? I'm not sure what it's called, but it was like a strip club in Portland, and
Oh,
the guy I know from there, he told me to ask you about the Sandy Jug, and it recently closed.
I'm not a strip club guy, so I don't know. I do know that Portland has a vegan strip club in which the strippers are all vegan, and the food and beer, I guess, is vegan as well. Which is I think that's a cosmic singularity. Like it's Portland falling into Portland, falling into Portland. Strip clubs are big here, and a girl I know who used to strip. I mean, she may still strip. We haven't spoken in years, but she moved to this part of the world to do a circuit from like Montana to Idaho to Washington to Portland, because this area is apparently big for strippers. But I'm not a stripper guy. I don't. It's very embarrassing for me. I went to one strip club in my life at somebody's bachelor party, and it was that strip club. Maybe you've been there. It was the strip club that was right next to Highland Mall. Remember Highland Mall?
Oh yeah, that would be is it Rick's Uptown Cabaret? I think that's what it's called.
I don't know.
And
I don't
it
know.
reminds me, I think what is it called? I want to say it was Rick's, but no, Rick's was a different one. It was
It might have been Sugars. Was it Sugars?
Sugars, that's it. What was your Sugars story?
There's not really a sugar story. I just went there for a bachelor party, and it was on a Monday night. We actually went after my show. If you recall, my show was on Mondays, so it was like after 11 o'clock on a Monday night, and we went there for a friend's bachelor party, and there are four of us, and I think we outnumbered the strippers, and there were just a bunch of people drinking and not doing much, and the strippers came out, and one stripper was from Penthouse Magazine, and she did her dance to some,
She's like a big star. She was like the headliner. Where do you put like Penthouse Forum?
I usually hide it in the bathroom, so my wife doesn't know I have it. But anyway, so
Someone they told me they were in Penthouse Forum a bunch of times.
do you have a sugar story?
Well, my favorite story about Sugars is it's just something I saw on television one time. I was watching Inside the Actors Studio. You familiar with that show? The guy who hosted, I think he died recently, James Lipton.
Yeah.
He was the host, and he had a very prestigious kind of voice, like I don't know if he's British or he just went to acting school or something, but he
tried to make everything it's almost a parody. People have done a million parodies. He would have people on who were not
talk like Frasier.
But he would have somebody on who was like, the guy who played Coach or whatever, and he would talk about him as if he were Laurence Olivier. It was always that's kind of the parody of his thing. But yes, I'm familiar with the show.
So one time he was there, and the guest was Renee Zellweger, and he said, "Tell me about Sugars Uptown Cabaret."
Did she dance there?
She wasn't a dancer, she was a waitress there.
I remember she's
But who knows, maybe some nights she got wild and got on stage. Who knows?
Have you had
Only Renee Zellweger knows.
Did you have any opportunity to do anything professional with Renee Zellweger, because you both were Austin actors?
I saw her at a restaurant one time, like getting takeout food. Like I think around the time I first moved here. Sometimes you see big celebrities getting takeout food. That's why
they're just like us, Denver.
Kind of. They hang out at Sugars. Hey guys, it's Denver. This is the end of the show. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, you're at the end of the show. Thanks to Gary Dickerson, my first guest. You may know him, like I know him, as Self-Help Gary. You can find him on the radio in Portland on 2 different shows, at least, on 2 different stations, at least. And you can also look up his website where you can listen anywhere. You can listen to his shows anywhere from his website, which is selfhelpradio.net, I think, something like that. Just Google Self-Help Radio Gary, you'll find him. He does a really good show every week where there's a different theme and he plays different music from that theme. And you would think there's only so many songs. He finds all of them. It's crazy. So listen to that. Listen to Gary. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to this show so you can find out when there's a new one. Hopefully there'll be new ones very soon. I'm getting the hang of making these. So thank you for watching and come back soon. Thank you. Bye.
Stupid controller froze again.
You're only saying that because you're losing.
Bet you bought the cheap one.
My controller is junk too. Is this even real?
You're spending less, so...
Yeah? We'll just buy it again?
Smart kids.
Who are you?
Or what are you?
Hey, I was wondering if you guys wanted any... OMG, it's McGruff!
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff, the crime dog. He's an imposter. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. And that, Pops...
Could blow up in your face.
That's right, Scruff. Let's take a bite out of crime together and protect ourselves against fakes. Like him.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing an arm.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Buy smart.